Yes.
Yes.
Welcome
Oh my
to
God.
Hot Mess Moments.
It's so hot. It's such a mess and it's such a moment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I know we didn't have an episode last week, but we're back again. And this time, we're going to destroy our friendship along the way.
Yes, I'm so excited to not know a blessed thing about you. I
It's true.
almost just rigged questions that I thought I would know about you that you wouldn't know about me to make me look better. But then I
See,
realized I don't
that's the
think I know.
friendship.
That's friendship, baby.
That's Leo. That's the Leo in
It's
you.
giving. Honestly, we are complementary sister signs. So just saying. Just saying.
I'm just putting it out. I'm just
I'm
saying.
just saying. It's get
Uh,
annoying the more I go singing.
okay.
Saying.
So, for those who don't know, we are doing Friends trivia today. So we have a bunch of questions
But not
that'll be,
friends as in the show,
yeah,
friends.
not for. I would fail that one.
We should do
Instead,
that because I get them all right and you get them all
I
wrong.
literally not know a single thing. But we are doing a bunch of questions. But the twist is we aren't answering about ourselves. We're trying to guess what the answer is for the other person. So
Yeah.
we've got a lot of like amazing.
Sheesh. Is that how you
I
do it?
hate. I hate.
Sheesh.
You are forever done. I will leave.
Dab. Okay.
I will leave this call so
Should I make
quickly.
a this or that question? Sheesh or dab?
Absolutely not. And the answer is dad.
I like how we haven't even introduced ourselves and we're just
Like,
that's the way we're getting.
yeah, this is the mess. Everyone, hello. My name is Dylan Zahner, also known as 8-Bit Dylan. You can find me online at 8-Bit Dylan. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, early in the morning at 8 a.m. CST. And Beth, where can they find you?
I'm Beth Dixon, also known as Augusto and 11. You can find me on all my social media sites there as well. You can also catch me when Drag Race is on RHAP's Drag Race coverage and on My Weekly Meltdown, where we're going to be doing some patron only shit coming up this fall. So if you are interested in following My Weekly Meltdown, you can come on over there and check me out there too.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, before we get into this trivia, how you been, Beth? It's been a week and some
It has
time.
been. It has been a week.
It
And I
has
mean
been a
that
week.
in a couple of ways. No, it's been busy. I went up north to my campus last week, and then this week I said I don't want to be in the heat in New York City. I will stay at the lake before my students arrive this weekend. And I'm just straight up chilling, working from my parents' house. What are you
Heck
up
yeah.
to? What's it been like? Are you sweating like I am?
No, it's not been that hot, thankfully, but I have been
Good.
so busy.
Yeah.
I've been preparing for this big community spotlight event. We've got our VTuber
Mm.
takeover week, so I put a lot of work into that, and that launched this week. And so it's just been
Are
a
we
lot of like,
Are we
huh?
allowed to say that your husband
My
is
husband is in it,
taking?
and our former guest of this podcast, Delfron, was a part of said thing.
Yeah, they are both a part of it. Your
Yeah.
husband and former
Oh
guest
my god,
Alfred.
I hate that. No, it's funny too because he got invited to it not because of me, not because he knows me, but just because he got selected.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty neat to see him be a part of something like that. But other than that, it's been very, very hectic. There's been some like health in my family scares. There's
Yeah.
been some. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go visit my family this weekend, so I'm excited to that. I'm
Ooh,
driving up to
very cool.
Omaha, and I'm finally taking my summer week off. So basically, yes,
Snaps for a
yeah,
break.
I know I needed it. Basically how it works is Twitch as a company, there was a company wide week off that I didn't get because of TwitchCon Amsterdam. And then a bunch of my coworkers took the week after Amsterdam off, but I couldn't because
Mm-hmm.
of VTuber week. So now that VTuber week is happening, I'm like, I'm taking time off.
Good
Damn
for
it.
you.
Taking time off.
Y-
But I'm very excited.
Yeah, I mean, what I appreciated this summer is that so we have a new president, and what's been really nice is around the holidays, we'll normally get the days between Christmas and New Year's gifted off as like a, hey, enjoy this time with your family and friends and that kind of thing, right? That's
Yeah.
always been really nice. This year, because of how much COVID has affected everybody, our president not only gifted those days and a few extra days after New Year's, she also gifted 2 days after the 4th of July this year. Because for those that don't know, the
Ooh.
higher education schedule, your fiscal year runs from July 1st through June 30th, typically. Some people do June 1st through May 31st, but it's a much needed time. No, so like in June, if you're doing fundraising like my office does, like you are trying to make what you need for that year by June 30th, and then like you kind of crash. And like
Yeah.
your admissions people are finally like, oh, we finally got a class in last year, and now we have to look at our data so we can start recruiting. And like your professors are on vacation and such. But one thing that I really like that she did, and I hope that this becomes a trend all over the place, is she said, I want to gift these days rather than saying everybody gets X more vacation days. Because when everybody takes a break, it doesn't feel like you're coming back and already behind the ball. Whereas if you stagger out vacation for everybody. So she's like, I really
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that everybody feels like they have a collective break and they're not super far behind when they get back because everybody else was on a break. And I was like, you better work. I love that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's smart. Um,
I have a
we'd love to
story
see
to
it.
tell you though that's tied
Oh,
into
okay, I'm
work.
ready.
So yesterday I'm on a team meeting
You're
and
like my bitch of a boss.
actually my bitch of a no, I'm just kidding. Joe, if you're listening, you're not a bitch. Although in this situation you kind of were. No, so what happened was we were chatting and I can't remember what the situation was. He's like, I felt like it was on Lost when, and I was like, stop talking. And he was like, whoa, what? And I literally came off mute to be like, I'm literally doing a podcast where I don't know anything about Lost. And they're like, Beth, it ended 99 years ago. And I said, no, like you guys don't realize, like I actually have a podcast where like the novelty of it is like I'm the one person in the world who doesn't know what happened in Lost.
Yeah.
And then once one of my other teammates was like, I've actually never watched it. Is it a good time to watch? And I was like, yes. And then you can turn into hot mess moments and catch up with us.
Yes.
And, and my boss was like, Beth, this is a little much right now. But anyway, as I was saying, I feel like I'm on law. Oh, you know what it was? We were talking about potentially having an event in Australia in a couple years. And he's like, I don't want to staff that one because I don't want to be on a plane that goes to Australia. Because ever since I watched Lost, and he goes, Beth, I'm literally talking about the first episode. Like they crash in a plane coming
You're
back
like,
from Sydney.
no.
And I'm like, la, 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 la. I'm about to watch season 4. So anyway, I had to share that with you in the pod because
I love that.
I swear by the time this is done, it's going to be like we get into season 6 and somebody's going to be like, did you hear how it ends and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to be like, da, da,
It's
da,
gonna happen.
da.
We need to start doing another like we need to start on season 4 because I'm getting afraid
Yeah.
that we're like that someone's gonna spoil. I also need to schedule us playing Lost Via Domus.
Yes.
I want to do that really, really bad. So
Well, now that I'm actually going to be starting to stream again a little bit in September, it's a good time for sure.
nice.
For
Yeah,
sure.
we'll schedule a day in September. I'm thinking that we stream it
Ooh.
from the Hot Mess Moments YouTube channel.
Oh,
Yeah, and we try that
I'm here
out.
for that. I'm here for
Yeah,
that.
and that way it becomes a VOD that everyone can go back and rewatch if they want.
Da, 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 da.
Love
Yeah, I
that.
love that idea. I love that idea. Um, we are slowly making our way through the nanny too, and those episodes
Yes.
are quick. So I think
Yeah.
we could be better about just catching up on what the whole premise of our original podcast idea was.
That's true.
We've just had a really busy summer, so now that we're probably going to get,
It's
for
true.
me at least, the school year is going to happen. We're just going to spend our entire trip in Ireland, not going around and just watching Lost in the Nanny.
Just
in
watching
person.
Lost in the Nanny. Yeah, it makes
mhm.
sense. It makes sense.
Work.
Okay. So let's get into this Friends trivia.
Okay.
This is a very intense. It's gonna be very intense.
Yeah. I
It's-
also want everyone to realize that I spent no time putting together these questions and prompts.
It's
So
true.
I'm looking at them and I'm like, They're not hot mess enough necessarily, but there are a couple of them that could lend themselves to be.
Yeah. I am very excited for you to get a lot of these wrong.
I know, me too.
And I'm very excited to get all of them right about you.
Well, if you do, you can say that it's because you're an Aquarius.
That's true. Okay, let's get into the first one.
Wouldn't it be great if I was like zodiac signs?
I was like, oh fuck. I'd be like, I don't know. What could it be? She's I don't know. An Aries.
It would have been so freaking funny if you actually were like, I actually don't know, Beth, and I'm gonna be like,
it's not like she doesn't mention it every fucking
day of my life.
Listen. If there's one thing that you mention more than Syracuse, it's being a Leo.
You say that I talk about Syracuse like all the time, and I also need to then say, and I know I've said this before, I'll say it again. You say Syracuse exactly how people from Syracuse say it,
I know,
which is
Syracuse.
Syracuse. It's so good. I know I've said it before, I'll say it again. But it's so funny. You're like, what have I talked about Syracuse with besides I was born there?
I mean, I will say every topic that we talk about, there is some way to relate it back to Syracuse in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah. I wanna counter at home. If somebody like Tyler, instead of keeping our LVP and MVPs, give me a Syracuse counter. Syracuse.
Tyler will probably agree with me.
He's gonna be like, yeah, Beth.
How many times we've talked? That's like how many times we've talked about Syracuse on this fucking podcast. Okay. So our first question is a simple one.
Yes, I wanted to give some softballs.
Okay, so first question, favorite color.
Okay.
What do you think mine is?
I think yours is blue.
Okay, why? And what shade of blue?
I think it's kind of like a not quite, it's like a slightly darker sky blue, kind of like what's the darker part of this Hot Mess Moments right here, if you're watching. And the reason why I think that is because that's what your username color is on Twitch when you write in the chat.
You got me there. It is. That is my favorite color. Your favorite color is, okay, this is a really wild take. Is it yellow?
Ooh. No.
You're like, no, you're fucking wrong.
I actually really don't like the color yellow that much.
Fuck
which is
me.
Really funny. But you know what's really funny about this?
What?
Is that I have the same exact favorite color as you do. I even have the same color name on Twitch as you do too.
I love it. It's a beautiful blue. I love it.
I love all shades of blue. I would say second is navy blue. I love a navy blue, and I love mint green.
I don't like navy blue. I do like mint green. Mint green's
love
very
mint
nice.
Green. Navy blue. This is where my nepotism come in. Navy blue just looks really good on me, so I think that's why
I'm kind of a hot bitch.
I'm just like so hot in navy.
My second favorite color is probably purple.
Ooh, see, I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, I love purple. I think purple's very cute.
Actually, I can see that now. Okay, now I know why you work for Twitch.
Yeah.
You were like, so I'm not even going to do it for any other reason other than the fact that
that's literally the only reason. That's why I applied. I was like, oh my god, purple. On
it. I'm going to become a gamer and a streamer because purple.
I went into the lobby and was just like, love it here. I just started making gross fucking faces. The CEO literally walked down the stairs and said, oh my god, I love that you always stick your tongue out whenever you make a face. You're hired.
I love that. You also are giving me Evie Oddly doing Rico Nasty and Snatch Game. Yeah, RuPaul.
That was so bad.
It was.
Yeah.
Respect.
Speaking of RuPaul's Drag Race, Speaking of RuPaul's Drag Race, the second question is, what do you think my favorite RuPaul's Drag Race lip sync for your life is? I have one.
I know you do. And it's Okay, so some of these prompts came from our dear friend of the podcast, Tyler. Because I
Never
was
heard of
like,
him.
I need some never heard of the shade. Because Tyler, I was like, what are some things that you would like to listen to? And this was one of his prompts, and I think it's a great one. And
Do you know what mine is, though?
is it Tatiana versus Alyssa?
It is, bitch!
I
And you
feel
know
like
what I mean?
I literally
and I
went.
ride that scooter than a limousine. I don't
I
know.
just, I'm.
I don't fucking know the words.
I'm gonna ride that scooter in a limousine.
I said I'm gonna ride that scooter like a limousine.
Like a lemon. Oh god, that really just killed me.
That's stupid. Yeah, that is my favorite lip sync for your life,
It took
though.
me a second too, where I was like, yeah, that word. And then I was like, no, that's not at all what the lyric. Gonna ride this scooter in a limousine.
Yeah, Rihanna I actually wrote the song.
So you're in the songwriting business as well.
I am. Okay, wait. Yours. If it's not the same one.
I will say I have like two that are very and I will say it is not the same one. I'll give you that hint. So I have two that you can go for, and I will say yes, that's correct.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I would put money. I think you like a messy moment. So I think you like Valentina with the mask on.
Ooh, I like the route that you're going because it's accurate, but it's not that one.
Damn.
My two favorite, I will forever love Brooklyn Heights versus Evie Oddly, that Snatch Game episode one, which is like, because you took what I can only say is one of the worst potential lip sync songs, and they made it iconic because it just turned into Cirque du Soleil. In the words of well, I mean, she said Cirque du Soleil, but I'm saying Cirque du Soleil. And Sugarcane said that. But the one that is messy that I like, kind of, is Monet Exchange versus Dusty Ray Bottoms.
Oh, that was a good one.
Because watching Dusty fake a seizure on stage always is like,
yeah.
That to me, I die every single time. That's a good one.
Dusty tried. Dusty was really putting in the work there.
She put in the work, and I wish she hadn't.
That's true. Okay.
Next one for you.
Oh, this will be tough for you.
This is so tough because I'm like, I guarantee this is something I don't even know. But the next one is favorite superhero.
First off, never heard of those. And if I had to guess your favorite superhero, it's definitely a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I would guess Storm from X-Men.
Ooh, she is definitely up there. So I'm like almost want to give you the credit for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say she's in my top 3.
Okay.
I not in execution necessarily of like the MCU, but just the idea of her. I love Captain Marvel as like this like incredibly powerful only person.
I see you hate men. You hate men.
Yeah, no, I really do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, and then Spider-Man. Those are like my top 3.
Okay.
Storm for real though is like my absolute favorite X-Men.
Yeah, she's great.
She's like, since I was a little girl, she was like honestly probably the first superhero besides Batman that I knew about.
Hell yeah.
Because I loved the idea of like the gray hair with like the comic and the X-Men adventures that we've been talking about. You can say
it. She's a fierce bitch.
She is a fierce bitch. Okay, so favorite superhero for you is going to be damn near impossible because you actually know superheroes and I don't. So I'm like sitting here like, is it going to be one that I know?
What's it gonna be?
I don't think you would choose something like Batman. I could see you choose something like Wonder Woman, but I don't think it's Wonder Woman. I think it would be DC, not Marvel.
Yeah.
If it were
Marvel,
that's
a safe assumption.
I think that's a safe assumption. I'm gonna go out on a weird. I'm gonna go somewhere, and I'm
Okay.
gonna
I
say.
guess there.
I'm gonna say honestly, I don't think this is that weird. I'm gonna say Aquaman.
Not even in my top 10.
Ah!
But no, I
It was
am
a
a
Green
DC.
Lantern or something like that.
I am a DC fanboy, but my favorite superhero is Spider-Man.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and here's why. I okay, I almost would say Batman. Batman would probably
Oh,
be
okay.
one of my favorites, but I feel like Batman is carried by a lot of other people in its cast. So like Robin or Batwoman or the villains are all kind of carry Batman. Spider-Man's villains are great, but I feel like Spider-Man's great without the villains. I feel
Yeah.
like Batman kind of needs the villains in order to be like compelling and interesting because otherwise he's just
Yeah.
a rich white guy
Well,
with,
that
with
turns
daddy
into the
issues.
question of vigilante versus superhero. Would you even say someone like Iron Man or Batman is actually, and I would even
Yeah.
argue to a certain extent, if you're going the super genius route, is that a form of superhero? In which case,
Are they
maybe I
just a
can make it.
Leo or are they like a
No, they would be more
superhero?
of an Aquarius if we're talking genius levels. So just saying.
Yeah, that's right. Recognize that.
If
Recognize
I
it.
please, if I wanted to go the Leo route, my top would be Thor.
That's a gross one.
Yeah.
If I okay, so it'd probably be Spider-Man, Batman, and then I do love Wonder Woman, but I also have a soft spot for X-Men. So
Mm.
I would probably say Gambit. I like
Ooh,
Gambit a
okay.
lot. I also like Jean Grey. I like
I was
Storm. Are
gonna say I kind of always took you for somebody who would like Jean Grey over Storm,
you
but
saying because
not.
I'm gay?
Yes.
Okay, you're right. And then
Sorry.
I'd also say Nightwing because he's got a nice ass.
See, I'm sitting here like I was like, okay, who? What are the DC?
Horniest,
And I was
like
like, I don't know, Aquaman, and that because he's ripped.
well, see, okay, listen. Aquaman is not bad. It's just that he only really started getting taken seriously very recently. And
Gotcha.
if we're gonna be honest, there's way more interesting characters in Atlantis than Aquaman. Like, um, yeah. Like I feel
I thought
like
you were gonna give an
Aqua
example. You're like.
well, Aqua Lad is really good. His sidekick is really, really good.
Mhm.
Um, Black Manta, who is one of his villain's sons, ends up being a sidekick to Aquaman, and is a queer black man.
Ooh,
If
love
I'm not
that.
mistaken, yeah, and he's in the newer runs, and he's apparently it's very, very good. So
Okay.
yeah, I would, yeah, slay. Aquaman's pretty good. Here, give me a
Okay.
second. I'm gonna open this door real quick.
Okay.
Introduce the next question.
Okay. So the next question is favorite video game. And what's going to be great about this particular question is that I have a feeling Dylan might get into the realm of what's my favorite video game of all time. But I have to go and think, in the words of his husband, which dead game will I choose for Dylan?
Well, you are wrong if you choose a dead game on what's my favorite.
Okay, so
But
here's the thing. What your perception of a dead game is versus like your husband is very different.
that's
You'll be like,
true.
that's not dead. And he's like, Dylan, three people play it. And you're like one of them.
I'm like, just wait till the next update.
Like, but verbatim, though. That's like
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
how the conversation goes. Okay.
I okay,
Okay.
listen. I have two. I will have the game that I have probably played the most in my life,
Hmm.
and then we'll have my actually favorite game. So
Okay.
I'll take either answer is okay.
Okay. I'm tempted. I don't think there's a part of me that wants to go with Sims as one, but the
Okay.
other thing, because as when you're like the most I've played, I'm like you continue to do a lot with it. You keep up with what's going on in the Sims, even though it's not something you necessarily stream all the time. But the one I'm gonna go for is it BioShock?
Oh, that's a great series, but no, that
Oh,
is
okay.
I would probably put BioShock in my top 10 favorite games I've ever played.
Okay,
But
solid.
yeah, but it's definitely not. It's not my number one. My number one game that I love and every time I play it I enjoy is Kingdom Hearts 2.
Why didn't I think of Kingdom Hearts?
Great game. It's always got a soft spot in my heart. I also would have accepted the answer Shadow of the Colossus. But there's another great game that I
I don't
love.
even know if I've ever heard of that, so I definitely
It's a
wouldn't.
great game. But the game that I put the most hours into is the game Smite. And so I would probably have accepted that answer, even though it's not my favorite game. Like I think it's got a lot of problems, but
The way that if I had said Smite, which by the way, I do know that you play it like often,
yeah.
your husband would have listened to this and gone, "It's a dead game." Like that is
Yeah.
literally
That's it. That's
the game
even
that
though
we talk
even though
about.
thousands of people still play it.
I know.
Like
It's so funny.
it makes them a fuck ton of money every
Oh God.
update, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna guess your favorite video game is Pokemon, but if I had to guess a specific Pokemon in the series, I would probably say Sword and Shield. I think you had the most. No, Arceus. You had the most fun with.
I would put Arceus as one of my top two favorite games. Well, for Pokemon. Sorry, let me say.
Yeah,
I would accept Pokemon, just generally speaking, as
yeah.
Arceus or Gen 2. I really I
Gen
will
2 is
forever
really
have
good.
an attachment to the Johto region. I love Heart Gold and Soul Silver as well. So like the remakes.
Yeah.
So those are definitely on the table. I also would have accepted Breath of the Wild. So
Oh, yeah, that's easily in my top 5.
yeah.
Easily in my top
So
5 favorite games.
love that so much. The only thing I haven't done in Breath of the Wild is find like 200 more Koroks, and that's it.
Oh, those are useless. Have you seen what happens when you get them
Yeah, you
all?
get a poop.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Also, my sister-in-law, without using the Korok mask and without looking things up, did find like all 900.
What?
Yeah,
Girl, get a life.
that's what I said. And I said that.
Yeah, that's sad.
And she looked at me
Um,
and she went, "This is my life."
well, I would have said that your one of your favorite games also is Dead by Daylight, but
I have a
I
love-hate relationship with that.
I was like, I feel like everyone that likes Dead by Daylight has a love-hate relationship with that
I
fucking
definitely would
game.
have said that would have been my favorite game like 4 years ago. Definitely not now. I mean, I was close to saying Identity V for you. Um,
No, that's not even my top like 20 games. Yeah.
uh, but then so here's some other ones I would have said, yes, these are my top, but not necessarily my favorite. Tetris 2,
Great game.
seriously. Um, Guitar Hero
Oh,
3.
fuck yeah.
I was so good at Guitar Hero.
The story mode in Guitar Hero was so much fun.
I like it made my dad sick watching me play that game, and he would be like, "I don't understand how you can play this," and I'd be like, "Through the fire and the flames," like, I mean, it was incredible.
I loved unlocking like all the different skins for your person.
Yeah,
Even though like when you're playing the game, you literally can barely look up to see what's happening.
yeah,
So because you're so focused on like, yeah,
hammer-ons, yeah. So
yeah.
those would have been other games I would have said, sure. Okay,
I have heard rumors that they're coming out with another rock band, and I'm really hoping they do because we need a modernized rock band with
if we
modernized
can
instruments.
if we can do a modernized rock band that has online play with other
Oh
people,
my god, I would fucking love that. I mean, it would be hard to do with the peripherals, but
sure.
I would love it. I would buy it. I would buy a rock band set.
I think it would be so cool to figure out if they could figure that out. Because I would 100% be like, do you want to be in my band? And we can do the story mode together online. Like, that'd be so cool.
That would be a blast.
It'd be cool.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, but related to video game, what was our first gaming system?
Okay, I've got this for you. I'm gonna
Okay.
say a Game Boy.
Like the original Game Boy?
Original Game Boy, not
Okay.
color.
So my first handheld was actually a Game Boy Color, not a Game Boy. I had a
Oh.
magenta one. It was
Oh.
really hot pink. But my first gaming system, we did have an NES in my house, and that I actually, at the age of 3, 4, and 5, played the original Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt and all that kind of stuff. But the first one that my brother and I were gifted was the Super NES.
Okay, shit. All right,
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Okay. For you,
I've got
hmm,
two.
okay. I'm going to go with the N64.
No, way
No.
before that.
Okay.
I
I always
had
have. How much younger are you than me? 2
I'm
years?
31, but
Okay. So you're 3 years younger than me.
my
Damn.
first gaming console was an Atari. Uh
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
My grandparents had one.
I grew up playing like the old one where you had a rolling ball. That's how you like moved. And so you had to like
We went
roll the
bowling.
ball. Yeah, you'd have to like
Yeah.
roll the ball. And so I'd play
It was
like
so good.
Galaga and stuff like that, like with it. Um but I would also say an old DOS computer because
Damn.
my aunt had one and I used to play really really rudimentary video games on it, like hella rudimentary. So yeah,
That's
those are like my
incredible.
first two consoles
Oh my gosh.
systems that I had.
My grandparents had an Atari, and I don't think we actually properly played it. I think it was literally us just kind of going, and where are we bowling? Like, blah, whatever. But the first system I definitely played something, even if I wasn't, I'm sure that Mario was just kept going in because I didn't know how to jump or something.
Yeah.
But I do remember playing that. And my mom, that's how I got good at Tetris, is my mom, they literally bought the NES so that my mom would have something to do and my brother and I were napping.
Oh, when you're never mind. I was gonna say something stupid. When your mom was flicking her bean, she's like, gotta keep the kids entertained. I just want to see your face cringe
You
and be
want to
gross.
keep the kids entertained, you freaking psychopath? What was that?
Yeah, so the kids don't bother her while she's flicking her bean.
No, we were napping and she was playing the
Oh.
NES. So when you said so the kids would be entertained, I'm like, the hell? You want her? What the heck is
No,
going?
no, no. Like, here,
No,
kids,
no,
play
no.
with this game. Mom's gonna go
No,
in the
no,
back.
she wasn't
Okay.
napping and we were playing the game. She
Oh,
was
okay,
playing the
okay. I
video game.
misheard
She was
you.
playing, yeah, no. She was playing Tetris while we were napping. So it gave her
What
something to do.
one of my earliest memories of gaming was my mom's this is there's a lot of throwbacks here. So my mom's boyfriend at the time, who is my stepbrother's father, before they had a kid, I remember he had a mullet.
Hmm.
And I would play Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo on a waterbed in my mom's room, and didn't really like the guy until I learned he was really fucking good at Donkey Kong Country. And so
You're like, he
he
has redeeming qualities.
yeah, so he walked in and he's a really nice guy now, but
Good,
like
good.
he came into the room one time while I was playing Super Nintendo and is just like, "Oh, I'm actually really good at this game." And I was stuck on a part, and from beginning to end, I sat there and watched him beat the entire game to show me how to beat it. It was so cool. Gaming's
Ah,
awesome.
that's how I became really good friends with Steve Moses and his older brother Alan. And Alan was the one that I was kind of like dating on and off in high school.
And you played on the waterbed in Donkey Kong Country.
Nope. We played they were showing us how to beat Ocarina of Time, which was fun.
Oh, such a good game.
Second.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So
Next
the
one.
next one, oh, okay. So we should probably cover our eyes for this one.
I already looked at your eyes, so I already know.
Oh, okay. So what are my color eyes?
In this camera light, you have brown,
Okay.
but they're like brown and hazel. I know you've talked about this before. You're like, I my eyes change color. You're
I
like,
have a
so
mood
I'm
eye.
just,
Yeah.
I'm so wild.
So I do have a light brown eye, which is hazel and green and whatever, depending on the light. And then my other eye is a brown eye for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
What am I?
I actually really don't remember. Do you
I
have
don't
like
know.
greenish brown eyes?
No, bitch, I just got super brown eyes,
Do
like
you?
dark brown eyes.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fucking awful for that. You don't even look me in the eyes. How dare you?
No, I don't.
Okay. So what superpower would the other person have or like want? And I'm not going to say the traditional answer flight because I think that's so generic and
Yeah, no, I'm
stupid.
not.
And I hate.
Mine's not flight anyway because I feel like I'd get cold and tired. So
Yeah, let's not do flight or teleportation because I feel like that's another
yeah.
one that people are like, I don't want to teleport wherever I want. No, I want like a different one, and I have that power in my head. What it's going to be?
Okay. So for you, I think you'd want to shoot spaghetti out of your fingertips. Just kidding.
Actually, no.
It's just like spaghetti with his hand and just weird meatball strains out of his hand. You're like, "Bleh." um, I think that you would. I don't think you'd want super strength. I think that's really basic. I think that like if you were to have super strength, it would be like more of an endurance thing to be like, I can really twerk it for a long time at the club. Like that's the kind of thing you'd go for. It'd be more endurance based. I think yours is invisibility.
Close. I would really like the ability to phase through walls.
Ooh, okay,
Um,
okay, okay.
because I'm super claustrophobic. And if you can
Oh,
phase through walls, claustrophobia is never a thing that you have to worry about.
look at that.
Yeah,
The only issue there is if you phase through the wall of an airplane, you are now
I can
parachuting.
control it. I can control it.
I
It's
love
gonna-
that. Um,
your power.
okay, so my power, I will say normally is for the record, the default answer is teleportation for me, duh.
Yeah, it's always
But
same.
it's
Mine
but
might be
it's not
teleportation.
teleportation to like, oh, I just want to be in London, snap, because I think that's cheating. It would have to be someplace that's like actually feasible for me to get to right now. And so you'd have to be like teleporting multiple times to get to someplace far away. Like that's how I think
That'd
about
be
it.
kind of fun though.
I have one in mind, and it's one that I know I also would hate at the same time. I'll give it to you.
Yeah. I almost said this one for myself, but I also think this one's kind of cheating. But I think yours is telekinesis.
That's pretty close, to be honest. Mine is the the ability to know if somebody's lying or not.
Oh, I can already do that.
Okay.
I don't know if you
Um,
know this, but
but here's the way I want it to manifest for like if you're lying, I get a tingle in my clit.
oh my God, I was gonna say your other power was just to have a constantly juicy pussy.
Already
Like
have it. Super
constantly. Could you just imagine like constant juiciness? Like it's to the point where you wear panties and they're already like soaked.
I have news for you. This is what it's called being a person with a vagina in the summer. Like that's just what
Yeah.
it is.
No, but like like it's squirting, like almost constantly squirting, like
Yeah, I
juicy
don't want it.
pussy.
That's not a
Could you
superhero.
imagine?
That's not a superpower.
No, like it takes the fun out of it at that point. You're like
Yeah.
anything's making you juicy. I
I
also hate that
I
I keep saying juicy.
you know what? I think I prefer moist over juicy now. Like this is weird. Okay, so superpowers. So another one that Tyler came up with, and I think superpower was one, but another profession for our day jobs, but it can't be podcasting or streaming.
Ooh, okay. I have mine.
Okay, I think I'm not going to say the job that I know that you had beforehand. I'm not going to go in that realm, but I do think
Yeah.
that you would work like, I feel like you would want to work like at an LGBTQ center or like a nonprofit.
You're really wrong.
Cool. Work.
Yeah, I hate gays. My answer would be to work on production for either television or
Oh,
shows. But fun
well,
fact, before I got into like public health and before I got into marketing, I really want to do VFX, basically visual special effects for
mhm.
movies. That was like my big thing that I really wanted to get
That would
into.
be so cool.
But it is so incredibly competitive to get into.
I imagine.
And you have to have like wild art skills to even qualify for a job. And you have to have an entire like art resume. And I'm like, why does this have anything to do with art? But then like when you get into like taking classes, you're like, oh, this is why it involves
You're like,
art.
this all makes sense now.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. What do you think mine would be?
Yours would be
I have
an actor.
It's pretty close, actually. I
Because you like
really,
attention.
fair enough. I really wanted to be a casting director,
For a
which is
couch.
why actually I went into, I wanted a couch at the end of the day. I just wanted some furniture, and I thought that's the only way.
That is not the joke I was making, but I was talking about the casting couch. It's a porn thing.
Oh. Ace.
Wah, wah. Jesus.
But I actually really, really, really wanted to be a casting director, and I got an interview for an entry level kind of like internship that was going to turn into an entry level position at Bernie Telsey's casting office in New York City, which he's like one of the premier casting directors for Broadway. And they were like, great, can you come in this afternoon? And I was like, no, I live 7 hours north of the city, but I can be there tomorrow. And they said, oh, we're not interviewing tomorrow. And then closed the door on it. And so I didn't get the opportunity to interview at what I was considering like my absolute dream organization. But then I decided to go for what I considered casting for higher education, which is college admissions. So that's why I literally went into it.
Why didn't you just take a train?
Because it was going to be 7 hours. They wanted me to interview in like 2 hours, and I couldn't.
Well, tell them, you know what? I've got the power of teleportation now and a juicy pussy.
I was like, what if I told you I have a juicy pussy?
What if
and they're like,
I constantly squirt?
They're like, we work in Broadway and we're a bunch of gay men. We don't care about that, but we're queen.
You're all like, we've got contacts at Playboy, but we don't know if that's even going to work.
No, honey.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of this, what position in bed?
This is a stupid question. Like, Beth's is reading a book on the couch next to said bed.
Yeah. I want to be on the bed reading.
Okay, on the bed reading a book. Yeah.
Thank you. No, I would say that I am likely more of a bottom than I am a top, for sure.
Yeah, you're a big fucking bottom, Beth.
I'd be a power bottom, though. Just saying that.
Yeah, there we go.
I actually know this one. I think that you're verse.
Yeah, for sure. I will say in some of my past relationships, I was an exclusive bottom. And in some of my past relationships, I was an exclusive top. I will fulfill either role. But I will say, like, I'm not the biggest fan of being stuck to one category. Like, I find that very boring. Yep. I say that as I'm like an exclusive top in a relationship with an exclusive bottom. But my husband is asexual, so like it's also like not the biggest of deals.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. So it's not like, but yeah, I would say I have bottomed more than I have topped in my life, but I prefer topping over bottoming.
I think that if I were in a relationship with somebody, I would also top. Like, I top in the sense that like I kind of want to give it to somebody, but in terms of like whether it's strapping or whatever, like I want to make sure that like they're getting what they want, which can be very bottom energy, but it can also be very top energy. So I'm guess maybe you can call me first energy. I don't know. I say this is very hard because I'm I'm ace.
You're also like, I would rather not, but I would
rather my position would be alone in bed.
We love that.
Okay, and the last one for this section, then it's kind of like a this or that quick thing. Who is your celebrity crush?
Yours is so easy. It's not even close. Isn't it his name Michael Bublé?
No.
I forgot his name. It's that one guy that sings the Christmas songs that you're obsessed with.
It is, but it's like
It is. It
I
is.
know this
Wait,
isn't like
It
really
is.
good. It's not really good content for those listening and not watching, but I am.
You're gonna lost for. Hey,
I'm.
you're just flicking that bead to Buble, baby.
No.
No, his name is Josh Groban.
Yes. Thank
There we
you.
go.
That's all I want to get. I literally don't know who yours is.
uh
I
I feel like mine's change. Mine changes all the time. Like I don't have a definitive one
yeah.
crush. I would say growing up, there was a band named Carmen, and I loved the guy from Carmen. I also had a huge crush on the lead singer of Panic at the Disco. I
Gotcha.
forgot his name. Yeah, he's very attractive. He's
What? Brendan Urie?
yes, Brendan Urie.
Brandon Urie. No, Brendan? Brandon.
Brendan is Brendan. And then I also had a huge crush until I realized growing up how annoying he was. Alan, the lead singer of Maroon 5.
Oh, Adam Levine.
Adam Levine. I used to have a
Yeah.
crush on him, and then
I can
he's kind of
understand that.
annoying.
Yeah, he's annoying. I was gonna say like Paul Rudd for you.
Paul Rudd's cute.
I think he's really hot.
I think Paul Rudd. Okay, so like Paul Rudd is cute, but I also realize that Paul Rudd, I'm guarantee you, does not look like that in normal like day to day. I bet you it's a lot of like makeup. It's a lot of like
Well, he
plastic
owns like
surgery.
a candy shop in Rhine Cliff, New York. And the next time I will get off the train at Rhine Cliff, which is like an hour south of Albany,
Yeah.
on my way down to New York, still like 2 hours north of New York City, I'll pop up and be like, "Do you look like this in person?"
I'm
No.
curious because he is a lot older than he looks.
Yeah.
And that definitely has to be plastic surgery. That definitely has to be Botox. It definitely has to be
I assume
like,
everybody in Hollywood has had Botox until I
yes.
have proof otherwise, and I don't get proof, so therefore.
You know what? I'm just jealous.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's way too many celebrity crushes. I'm basically a whore for celebrities. So like,
I'm fine with that.
yeah.
Oh, Zoe Kravitz is my other like celebrity crush.
Zoe is very cute. Holy shit.
She's like somebody that just has like that air of like mystery, and she's got like bad energy, like a bad bitch energy, and I love
I like
that
it.
so much. It's so attractive. Okay,
Agreed.
so we're gonna move into kind of like a lightning round, this or that.
Yeah.
So, speaking of celebrity crushes, would you prefer Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling?
This is like, why would you even? They're not even on the same tier. Like if Ryan Gosling came to me and said, "I want to have sex with you," I would say no.
I don't think Ryan Gosling's attractive at all.
No, he's not, in my opinion. Sorry, Ryan Gosling, if you're a listener, but Ryan Reynolds, I would absolutely have sex with.
He's also got a personality. Ryan Gosling
but
doesn't have one.
yeah, but I also would not put Ryan Reynolds in like my top 10 for celebrity crushes.
I should have done Chris's, Chris Pine, Chris Evans, like Chris Hemsworth, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that they're definitely more viable.
Chris
So the next one is comic books or graphic novels. I skipped it. I was like,
no, I said Chris Rock, and then you just
I just skipped it.
Okay. Comic books or graphic novels?
This is a weird choice because like comic books are graphic novels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're done. Just kidding.
Well, yeah.
I would like graphic novels are an upgrade to comic books because they can sometimes be a bunch of comic books put together to make a graphic novel. So you're basically you get more variety if you choose graphic novels.
So we can both just say graphic novels and it'll encompass everything.
Yeah.
Great job, Beth. Okay.
Good job, Beth.
90s or 2000s pop music?
Ooh. Are we guessing for each other or are we just
let's guess for each other. I think that you would choose 2000s.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's like Lady Gaga, Rihanna, like all that shit. Love it.
Yeah.
Eat it up. You would also say 2000s.
Yeah, I think that the late 90s is my jam a little bit too. And 90s I feel like had a really wide variety of different kinds of music that were pop music, like what was like the top hits at the
Yeah.
time. And I preferred that. Whereas the 2000s, I think objectively had worse music than like the 90s did. But
Yeah.
I was a huge like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, like Spice Girls fan, and they really hit their prime in the very early 2000s. And then you're getting into, like you said, like at the later part of the 2000s, Lady Gaga. And like I
I
went to college like with those bangers and like Rihanna and that
yeah.
kind of thing.
I would say I prefer 80s pop music than 90s pop music.
Ooh, I think that's
Yeah.
fair. I think that's really
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
Uh okay, ooh,
Would you
this is a good
prefer
one.
to go out or stay in?
What do you think?
I think you prefer to go out.
No.
Wow, really?
I prefer to stay in. If I'm going out, I have to have a clear idea of what I'm doing. Like
Okay, fair enough.
I don't like to just go out just to go out. Like
Well, yeah, I think that's fair.
I yeah, I have to have like a game plan.
So if you
Um
had a game plan and you knew what the plan was and everything, you
yeah,
would
go
prefer to
out.
go out? Okay, yeah, yeah.
I'd prefer to go out. But
Yeah.
when I think of go out, I mean like am I going to go out to the bar or am I just going to sit and stay inside and just chill? Like I would also say like if I had a game plan to stay in and a game plan to go out, I would
Mhm.
probably go out over staying in.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
What do you think for me?
For you, I think you'd stay in.
I actually prefer to go out of my apartment. I think because I spend so much of it,
Mm.
but I don't like to go out by myself. I need to go out with other
Yeah,
people and be
same.
social. I'm not a club person. I'm a bar, sit down, have a drink and talk with people kind of person, or go
Yeah.
experience something. What's going on? Go to a drag show, go for a walk with people. I'd rather go out and leave my apartment when I have the opportunity to. That
That makes
said,
sense.
I need to recharge too, so I don't mind staying in.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Drag Race, the normal series, or Drag Race All Stars?
For you, you're gonna definitely say Drag Race All Stars.
You better fucking believe it. Yes. I can't stand the newest seasons of Drag Race.
So bad. I'm
They're
gonna already say mine, Drag Race All Stars as well. Like,
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't I think if we were talking seasons 1 through 8, where there was only 2 All-Stars in that,
yeah,
I still think All Stars 2 is like one of the best seasons, but All Stars 1's like one of the worst seasons. So at that point, like you would definitely say, like, oh yeah, for sure. But
yeah.
I actually prefer seeing Queens come back now than their original seasons. Whereas a
Because they're
lot of
like more polished, they have more money, like it's just more
but they
entertaining.
also you can tell that they just have like way more confidence. And so I just like that.
I'm gonna go hot take here.
Yep.
I say God. Hot take.
Hot take moments.
I think Drag Race needs to stop. I think they need to stop doing Drag Race because it is not the same show that it used to be because it is so everyone has money. Like
Yeah.
they require you to have like thousands upon thousands of dollars in like designer outfits in a normal season of Drag Race, which kind of defeats the whole fucking purpose of
Right.
Drag Race. The
So
whole
what I
purpose is
was
to like show people that are on the up and up that are like making their own shit and doing cool
exactly.
shit like that.
I was originally going to put Drag Race or Dragula, but it was going to be so obviously Dragula for both
Oh,
of us.
not even in the same hemisphere.
I think
Like,
Dragula is just such a better show all the way
oh
around.
yeah.
For the
Oh
only
yeah.
exception of platform, and I actually think that the fact that it's not on such a huge platform is why it's so good.
Agreed.
So just putting
Agreed.
that out there. Okay. Speaking of the Drag Race stuff,
This is
Snatch
so
Game or
easy.
the Reading Challenge?
For you, you're gonna say Snatch Game because you like acting and stuff like that.
I do like the Snatch Game, but I I think the Reading Challenge is often stronger than the Snatch Game in terms of total performance. But I think you're right. I think Snatch Game is I prefer that over because it's like maybe it's just because it's like the full episode. I don't know. I think for
Yeah.
you it's the Reading Challenge.
I honestly I don't like either. I think Drag Race doesn't make me laugh ever
That's fair.
anymore.
That's fair.
which I'm a sad individual. But I prefer Snatch Game because Snatch Game there's obvious like I feel like there's more messiness in Snatch Game. I love when I see
Hmm.
someone fail at Snatch Game. People
So
are
good.
always like people are always like, "Oh my god, I love to see a good Snatch Game where someone does really well." I was like, "No, I want to see people do really poorly and
I
I want
want
to
to
laugh
see
at
the
them."
extremes. I want to see people who do
Yeah.
really well and people who do really shit. And I don't really care if it's like in between.
Yeah, I'm there to laugh at people, not with them.
Right.
I'm a terrible human being in that regard.
No, that's the point. That's the point.
Uh, so the next one is liquor or beer.
And I also, for this, just to clarify, beer can also be like malt liquor drinks like White Claws and that kind of thing,
Oh, okay.
or like wine coolers, that kind of stuff. So
Hmm. For you, it's definitely beer then.
no.
You don't like wine, like White Claws and seltzer
I
drinks?
drink them, but I'd much prefer just to have a gin and tonic or a margarita or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think for you it's liquor.
Yeah, for sure. Give me
Yeah.
whiskey any day.
Yeah.
Whiskey will put me to. Oh, I love it. I love nothing more than to have like an old fashioned at the end of the night, and then someone else is
Oh.
driving, and then someone else, oh, like if I'm out and about, and someone else is driving, and we'll get home, or someone like I'm back at my place, and it just puts me to sleep so fast because whiskey makes me sleepy.
Oh, I
I
see.
love
I
it.
didn't know this. I didn't know
Yeah, I
that you liked
love.
whiskey that much.
Oh my God. I will judge a bar on how good they are based off how they make the old fashioned. I can tell if it's a good bar or a bad bar based off how they make the old fashioned.
See, I didn't know that because I judge bars on what they know about gin.
That makes sense.
If they go to make me a gin and tonic with Hendrix and they put a lime in my drink, fuck that.
Yeah,
That's not right.
they hate
They need to put
themselves.
a slice of cucumber and check themselves into that. And if they don't have cucumber, then they shouldn't have Hendrix at the bar. Thank
There you go. Say it.
you. Okay, so now we're going to get into a couple of Lost and Nanny fused things. Would you prefer Jack or Maggie?
Mm.
So say you had to be stuck on an island with one of them.
Well, obviously Jack, because I think I could convince him to suck a dick. And Maggie wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole, obviously. But
I was just gonna
um,
say Maggie would suck dick before him
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
I
what
think
you wouldn't like it.
it's the joy of getting Jack to do it, even though Jack sucks dick, and I need him to suck dick. But I also hate women, so I'm gonna choose Jack. Just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's the right choice. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's clearly Maggie.
Yeah, for you, it's definitely Maggie. For me, it's Jack because I feel like I would love the eventuality where Jack is mansplaining to me how to survive and I don't know how to survive. So I just have to accept what Jack says. And honestly, I like kind of like that power dynamic. I could
See,
want him to mansplain
I
to me.
like that I could get Maggie to do whatever I wanted. You are so opposite in that way. Oh, okay. So speaking of that, be trapped on the Lost Island for a year, or be trapped in Morty and Sylvia's apartment for a week-long snowstorm with 10 other people.
It depends. Um, if I know all the dangers that are on the Lost Island still exist, I would definitely choose Morty and Sylvia's apartment for a week-long snowstorm. But
I'm pretty sure Morty's farts are the smoke monster. So just putting that out there.
yeah, I actually would probably choose the Lost Island for a year if I like have the survival know-how and I
Mhm.
have like the means to survive. I would
Gotcha.
probably choose the Lost Island for a year.
Yeah.
It'd be a good break from everything, you know? It'd be tough. It'd be really difficult, but if I have like Sawyer's books and I have like people to socialize with and we have the means to survive. I think the only thing we'd have to watch out for, obviously, are like the smoke monster.
Hmm.
I think we could do it.
I would 1000% choose Morty and Sylvia's apartment for a week-long snowstorm because, like, first of all, snowstorms don't scare the shit out of me at all, whereas everything on that island does. Um, And I have no qualms going outside and just standing outside and getting away from people for a few minutes and going back up. I would have it would be an inconvenient week and a half of my life where I then have a great story to tell people.
That's
I
true.
I have also lived through the great ice storm of 1998 in the Northeast. Y'all should look it up. My town had, I think it was like 6 inches of ice on things. Like it was ridiculous. We didn't have power for like nearly a month. And I lived in an elementary school for like 2 weeks with a whole bunch of people and a lice outbreak and the whole 9 yards. And that to me, I'm like, oh, that I lived through that. And we also had a fire in our house at that time. Like it was a whole
Oh
mess.
my God.
So I survived that. I could do the snowstorm, no problem.
All right. And the last one.
Question. Would you rather never podcast or stream again or never travel again? This one's
What do you think?
incredibly easy for me.
This is incredibly easy for me too.
I think you would rather never podcast or stream again. And
I would. You could literally pay me probably $100 to say, hey, don't stream for this month, and I'd be like, sure.
I thought you were going to say ever again. I was like, don't say that. People will actually do that for you. Be like, actually, yes, throw him $100 tip.
Yeah. Like, I'd probably make more money than I would if I had streamed for that month. Well, that's not true. I'd have to be paid more money than that. But it's just the principle of this podcast and streaming takes up way too much of my fucking time. And I would love to have that time back to like exercise and do normal human functions. The issue is I need money.
You would fill it up with something else.
Yeah, that I would fill. I would also fill it up with some other projects. That's just how my brain works.
Yeah. It's no spoiler. Mine's the same thing.
You barely stream as
I don't stream.
But you do podcast way too fucking much.
I podcast a lot. Yeah. And I've taken a step back this summer from podcasting from a lot of the things I normally do, and it's been very healthy for me. So I'd rather travel and see the world than do that. So, but anyway, this was our friendship game, and I think we both did absolutely okay.
Yeah, I was shocked how much we knew about each other.
Considering we met 2 days ago.
Yeah, I literally just met you. You're actually not even Beth. You're Beth's sister, twin sister, Booth.
Bath.
Hi, it's me. I'm Beth. I'm from Syracuse.
You're the one bringing up Syracuse.
We're in upstate New York, and I just really love podcasting. It's like my favorite activity outside of gopher chucking.
Gophers?
Yeah, in North Upstate, whatever.
Yeah.
Welcome to Hot Mess Moments, everyone.
It's called the North Country, you bitch.
Yeah. Let's take a tally every time Beth says North Country or Syracuse.
I say North Country way more often than Syracuse because I'm from the North Country.
North Country is basically Syracuse.
No, it's not.
They're basically the same things. They're interchangeable.
Oh my God. Syracuse is 2.5 hours south. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So everyone, please follow us at Hot Mess Moments. If you would love to hop on in, support the channel, support the content. We are past 100 subscribers on YouTube, which is super cool.
Thank you all.
Make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And we hope you enjoyed this this shitty, weird fucking journey that we've been on for the last 4 seasons.
Yeah. It's been a shitty and fun time, and I'm here for it.
It's really fucking dumb.
It's dumb, and I love it.
All right. Well, we will see you all next week. And until then, stay awesome, stay beautiful, you lovely people.
Bye.